Korea has a long and complex history, but to understand what's happening there today, you need to understand what's happened in the last 100 years or so. Have a look at this. This is a map of Korea as it was back in the 1930s. Then it was one united country, as it had been for centuries before. At that stage, though, it was under the control of its imperialist neighbour, Japan.
But then the Second World War broke out, and after years of conflict, Japan was defeated by the Allies in the Pacific.
At that point, the victorious nations, the United States, the United Kingdom, the USSR and China, decided to split Korea in half. And they did so right along the middle here, across the 38th parallel. The communist countries, China and the USSR, would control the north, and the south would be controlled by America.
This was supposed to be temporary, but as tensions between the superpowers grew and developed into the Cold War, that became less and less likely. And then war broke out again. The North was led by this man, Kim Il-sung. Kim, backed by Joseph Stalin in the USSR and Mao Zedong in China, sent his troops across the 38th parallel in the summer of 1950. A huge war erupted. The US sent troops to support the South Koreans who were being outgunned by the North. The fighting was intense. Major cities were razed to the ground, with the US bombarding much of the North with their air support. Hundreds of thousands, potentially millions died, traumatizing the peoples of both North and South.
In July 1953, an armistice was signed, and they agreed to split the country into North and South Korea along this line, almost exactly where the 38th parallel was. So much lost for so little gain. It was also agreed that a 4-kilometre demilitarised zone would be set up along the border. It's essentially a piece of neutral territory where neither side is allowed to station troops.